as expiry, we had no concerns about it. But since NSE has requested for Tuesday now, in the overall interest of the market, we have taken Thursday.
That's right, sir. But when BSE moved its expiry to Tuesday, we saw BSE gaining some market share as a result of that. How will the Thursday move impact your market share going forward?
Market share, as you call it, and the volumes in an exchange are a function of multiple factors. So, at this point of time, taking just one factor, talking about it, would not be possible. We need to wait and watch as to how it spans out.
Sir, what we also saw was that the premium turnover, which is the transactions the investors do. You were able to retain some of the premium turnover, and you were able to see a growth in the premium turnover. Do you see there will be a shift in the premium turnover when you move the entire expiry to Thursday?
Thursday has been traditionally an expiry day for a longer time in Indian markets. Thursday expiry has seen the premium market and the option market develop over the period of an entire week, next week, next to next week, next month. So, as I said, multiple factors decide as to how the volumes happen and how the premium turnovers quality change. At this point of time, with only one factor, we cannot make any statement. In any case, traditionally, Thursday has been the expiry for Indian markets for a very long time.
Sir, also if you clarify, does it mean that all contracts, whether it's weekly or monthly, will now be expiring on a Thursday for BSE?
The thought process of the regulatory framework was that once a expiry day is chosen, all contracts should expire on that.
What is the kind of adverse impact that you see on your transaction revenues going forward as a result of this movement from Tuesday to Thursday?
As I told you, transaction revenue is based on the market volumes. Market volumes are a function of multiple things. One factor alone impacting it cannot be prejudged. It should not be prejudged as well.
Finally, sir, if you can give us a date from which these changes will be coming into effect and some clarity on that.
The regulators have clearly stipulated in the circular that till August 31st, the weekly contracts that has been introduced will continue. No fresh weekly contracts will be introduced further. From September 1, 2025 onwards, the new regime of the new expiry days will start happening. So we will do exactly in compliance with the regulatory directives.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Ramamurthy, thank you very much for joining us on NDTV Profit. I know you were in London for a business meet and you took some time off to speak to NDTV Profit. Thank you for joining us today.
Let's get in Vikas Khimani, founder of Carnelian Asset Management and Advisors, on our show to talk about how does he see the current landscape. Vikas, great having you. Thanks so much for joining in. The smile on your face tells me that your portfolios are doing well. Is it that the markets are conducive or are you beating the market currently?
I think smile on your face should be irrespective of how the markets are, because markets will be good and bad all the time. And I think what we learn over the years is that you got to live with all kind of markets. But coming to your question, I think yes, of course, we've been doing well. From the latest low points, we have recovered. We have generated significant alpha. So I think, yeah, we are happy. Our investors are happy.
Because is there reason to be constructive markets currently, or is there reason to be cautious? I mean, one geopolitical conflict hasn't ended and there is one more. But the markets are kind of showing resilience to that now. It's almost as if you're living with these and they may not impact sentiment too much. How do you foresee the next 6 to 12 months to be like for Indian markets?
So Neil, I think we will be in heightened geopolitical situation, not only now, for next, in my opinion, next couple of years, or maybe next 5-10 years. It's been going on for last couple of years, since 2022, and markets get used to it. Historically, wars and geopolitical conflicts were far relevant for economists because of the oil price hike, and which is what partly played out in 2022. Fortunately, I think because of the oil cartel breaking, or I think different source of supplies coming about, and countries managing to import oil from different sources, I think oil prices continue to remain in check despite the conflict in the Middle East. And I think that gives the big respite from a economic impact on the local economies, including India. So that's the reason I think by and large the dependence on the one source of supply of oil and oil prices are kind of checked. And if you keep that in mind, then I think broadly, by and large, and normal, conflicts will keep happening. There will be news flows, but news flows don't have impact on the, on the economic growth and on the corporate earnings side. So hence, markets are kind of overlooking that. And today, I say that India is far more resilient as an economy. What our RBI governor has done in last 6 months is phenomenal. The 100 basis point rate cut and
imports become the exception rather than the norm, and increasingly we do almost last year, for example, of the contracts that we signed of record 2,09,000 crores, 81% was awarded to the domestic industry. Our intent is to manufacture in India, preferably with design also in India.
I am so elated to be on the same screen as the Defense Secretary, and I get a chance to talk about what he said.
In certain areas, like for example, artillery guns and armored vehicles, or in some categories of missiles like the BrahMos and the Akash, we've come of age.
What Defense Secretary Sir said is 100% true, and today private industry can really increase their involvement in R&D.
I am very proud to say that we make, in our categories that we have been supplying to our defense forces, some of the best platforms in the world.
One question can change everything. The big question. Bold, direct, uncompromising. Tough topics, hard-hitting analysis. Conversations that matter. We break it down, cut through the noise and set the context for you. Hear from top policy makers and thought leaders from the world of business and beyond. The big question really is, are companies using dark patterns to take you for a ride? The big question we're asking today, is the US heading towards a recession? The big question is, are we sacrificing our health at the cost of convenience? The questions you care about, asked and answered. The big question.
The markets move fast.
And so should your portfolio.
this very special conversation, and I'm excited about the guest we have today. Now, India's OG startup founder and investor is undoubtedly Sanjeev Bhikchandani, founder and executive vice chairman at InfoEdge. Now, InfoEdge is, of course, a digital powerhouse giving us iconic platforms like Naukri.com, Jeevansathi.com, and 99acres.com. But what's also exciting about Mr. Bhikchandani is his ability to pick winners, whether it's a Zomato or a Policy Bazaar or a whole generation of entrepreneurs that he has nurtured. So with that introduction, Sanjeev, thank you so much for speaking with us here at NDTV Profit as we take this opportunity to pick your brain on what you think about the startup ecosystem right now, the beeline for